Shireen, so what are some of the coping mechanisms that you use to move forward after your loss?
One is gaining a better relationship with my other two sons. Talking about what's going on with us, what I'm feeling. And when I cry, now I hold it in, let it out, and express myself to them. Therapist, I go to once a week. I'm still attending. I have a network of women. I have a Phenomenal Women Social Club. And we meet once a month all together, and we have hot topics, like we talk about anything. And for the past couple of months, my topics has always been my son. Just keeping myself busy, like doing positive things like this in honor of my son. To just, I have to stay busy, because if I stay in the household, I start getting depressed.
Do you have any guilt about your son's death?
No, I don't have any guilt, because I did my very best as a mother at what I was working with. Like, you could teach your kids the very best and tell them, you know, because I've always told my kids, I would tell them, like, don't go left, because I already did that for you. Ain't no sense you going that way, because your mother did the same exact thing that you about to do. So don't do it. You know what I mean? And kids, they go out, be one way at home, and then they go out in the streets and be another. So, you know, I know that I did my very best. And guilt, no. Because I believe that in order for him to have a better life, this is how it had to go.
How was your marriage impacted from the tragedy?
For me, I had a lot of resentment with his father, because I was always the disciplinary, and on both ends. Like, he would get down and rugged, but because he went about it a certain way, you know how you could talk to somebody and they don't hear you, because if you talk at them, they don't hear you, they don't, you know, receive what you're saying. And a lot of times his father would give it to him that way, and I used to have to tell him, like, you can't make him do nothing he don't want to do. This boy 18 years old, he gonna do what he want to do, and you gotta talk to him. You got not at him, because he get angry, rebellious. And then I know for me as a kid coming up, when my mother did things to cause me harm, or I felt harmful of, I did things just to make her mad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do this even when she told me not to do it. So, you know, I had resentments, but I'm past them now, because I believe he did his very best at what he know how to do. So I can't really hold him accountable and have resentments, but in the beginning I did, because I said to myself that, wow, he could have been a better father, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I could have been a better mother.
Wow. Is your family close?
Very close. We are very close. Like, we one that sits in the house and crack jokes on each other, and you do some crazy stuff, like we laughing at you all day, we on the floor talking about, stop, my stomach, I can't, my side hurting. So yeah, we're very close. We are amazing.
When you think of your son now, what are your thoughts?
I just look at it as, you know how they say sometimes a person or a family member has to sacrifice for the next family members to have a better life? And that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. And he was one of those sons that would be willing to do it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you have some kids like, nah, I know, I don't want to go to sacrifice for nobody. But, you know, he was one of them sons that if he had to sacrifice for us to have a better life, he would do it.
If you could sum up one of the things that the fondest memories you have of your son, what would it be?
Cracking jokes. Cracking jokes. You do some dumb joke if you wanna. He gonna have the whole house laughing at you. And he has a heart of gold. Like his heart was pure. He was one of those that would make sure you was okay. His friends, and he started to saying, you know, because he would tell all his friends he loved them. And you don't hear that from an 18-year-old telling other 18-year-olds that I love you. You know, he hang up the phone and it's like, I love you, man. Be safe. You know, call me if you need me. And I think that was amazing of him. He was a leader. I think it was just, you know, yeah, just him being a leader and being the amazing son.
How did you assist your other children in dealing with the grief of his loss?
Well, I tried to assist them with some therapy. However, you know, the boys have some pride and they don't believe in going to sit and talk to somebody about what they're going through. They're saying is, I got you, we can talk to you. You know, and I told them I do therapy. So I need help too. So you know, but you know, their process is their process, and I just listen to them. You know, when they get to that moment and they want to talk about their brother, even when I don't want to talk about him, because it's devastating for me sometimes when people bring them up. So when they bring them up, I act as if, and I go through the change so that I can help them process in the way that they need to, because they are the upcoming future, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here, and I have to, you know, allow them to heal and help them in their process, whether I like to talk about certain things when it comes to my son, Eybpt. It's not about me. It's about saving the up-and-coming future, and that's who they are. So I just have to feel, deal, and heal. That's what I do.
That's the process.
That's what I do.
Do you think, have you forgiven your son's murderer?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
The first January, February, March, I didn't actually forgive him until, because when it first happened, it was like, oh, he took my son, you know, he need to go too. That's just the bottom line. That's how I felt. And, but, no, because if I don't forgive, first of all, I block my blessings. And I'm not willing to block my blessings for nobody else. I did enough of that harm on myself. So, and I know that God is in charge, and He handles all things. And I have to keep that up front. Like, it's not about me. Like, you never know. Like, a lot of kids grow up in different environments. Like, their mothers could be high. They come outside dressed from head to toe, but they go in the house, they don't got no lights. They angry. They don't got no food. They don't got, not that it make it right that he killed my son, but who knows what he was going through. Who knows what he was going through. And I believe that he's going through it as well. Because when you take a life, I don't care how tough you are, what you do in the streets, and sometimes you take somebody's life because of the lifestyle that you live, and you don't got no choice because they probably told you to take that life. And you got to do what you got to do or they're going to take your life. It don't make it right, but I forgive him. And I wish him the best. Because it's going to see him again on the other side. And then they can talk about it and they can fix it. It's not, you know, it's just, I'm all right.
If you met a parent of a murdered victim that recently happened, what would you say to them?
Like, hold on. It's gonna be okay. Like, you gotta process. You gotta express your feelings and your emotions. You can't hold them in. You can't sit in a fetal position, balled up, and give up on yourself. You just can't, because you'll lose your mind. Because in the beginning, the first month, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was like, I'm going to have to go in crisis. I'm going to have to go somewhere, because there's no way that I can go through this like this. And when I start talking about it and expressing myself and talking to others and listening to suggestions, and it's always good, because it's always somebody out there that have been through the same thing you've been through. And those are the ones that you got to listen to. Because I have a network, I have a friend that lost his son, and he gave me a lot of strength and hope, how he got through it. So, and others, and I have a co-worker that also lost her son. And it's like, you have to push yourself. And it's not easy, because on any given day I break down. And still end up in that fetal position. But I always got to remember, I got to snap out of it. Because I lose my life just like he lost his life. And alive. You can lose your life alive and feel like you lost your life and you're walking dead. And I'm not willing to do that. What I'm willing to do is get out here and tell people the story, right? And tell them how I got through it, and how if I can do it, they can do it.
Well, I want to thank you, Shireen, for being brave and speaking to us about your situation. And we want to be a resource for others that may have come to be in the same predicament that you're in. And we want to give them places that they can go. If you have a place or any type of resources that you want to share with our audience, please feel free to do that.
Well, I am a mentor, and I mentor people in Essex County, Hudson County, in the communities. And it's called Dream Beyond Limitations. And I am gonna always be a beacon of hope for anyone that might need me, because we can go through this together. We can get through this together, because I'm